Hi, I guess I'm live on this Facebook stuff. I don't know. Kind of new to this. Hi, I'm Lynne Gentry coming to you from my office, and I thought I had it all set up, but as usual, I have technical difficulties. And Anyway, I'm coming to you live from my office in Dallas, Texas, and my virtual assistant, Janet, will be helping me, and she's coming to you from San Diego. Janet has the life. They sold everything. They moved into their RV, and they're traveling the country, so she can work anywhere. So if you have to sign off early, uh, please scroll through the comments because Janet's going to be posting some cool pictures, some fun links, and I just hope we all have fun. Oh, here's some friends coming in. Hey, hi Stacy, hi Janet. Oh, Leslie and Roxy, hi. Oh, I'm so excited to be here tonight, and I really thank you all for coming. A lot of you know me as a sci-fi history time travel writer from my best-selling series, The Carthage Chronicles. But what you may not know about me is that I got my roots in writing comedy. That's right. Slapstick, small town humor skits, just flat out comedy. I grew up in a small town, and they say you should write what you know. I grew up in Cherryville, Kansas, and hey, there's some Cherryville peeps there right now. Hey, Cherryville, Kansas. Cherryville was known as the Fighting Cherries until the late 60s, when finally the student council voted, thank goodness, to change it to the Chargers. And Susan Van Cleve used to ride this beautiful Appaloosa horse down the track just as fast as she could every time we made a touchdown. Y'all remember when Susan Van Cleve used to ride her horse like crazy? Oh, I was too terrified to do that. But Cherryville is known for Kate Bender from the Bloody Benders, and that's a story I'll share at another time because I'm going to write that book someday. And it's also not very far from Laura Ingalls Wilder's Little House on the Prairie. Hey, here comes some more friends. Whenever Paul used to have to go to town for supplies, he would either go to Independence or Cherryville. So Little House on the Prairie. So that kind of orients you to small town life. And with that small town background in me, I remember things like the Christmas parade in Cherryville. If you remember the Christmas parade, it was sometimes called the Noel Parade, and I was Miss Noel of my junior year in high school. That's right, Miss Cherryville. And we rode on floats. And I remember that I couldn't wait. I had this beautiful dress that my mother had made me, and I was so excited, and it snowed that day. And so I sat on the back of this flatbed trailer with hay all around it, being pulled by this medium-sized garden tractor in my coat. And it was so cold, I had to have long underwear on under my dress, and over my crown, my dad made me wear a stocking cap. A stocking cap over my crown. Yeah. So anyway, small towns, if you're from a small town, then you know what I'm talking about. Everybody knows everybody. Compared to Dallas, where I live now, I can put my hair up in a clip. I don't have to do makeup, anything. I can go to town because I am not going to see anybody I know. But that's not how it is in a small town. You know everyone. We moved from South Dallas to North Dallas a couple of years ago, and I had lived across the street from the same people for 15 years. And I knew the guy's wife, but the guy didn't speak very much. And so the day we're moving out, I go to lock up the house, and I say, well, hey, we're moving. And he says, okay then. And that was it. That was the totality of it. But if you're from a small town, then you know how it is. Oh, I see some people that are from small towns. If you're from a small town, then put it in the comments. you're from a small town, tell me where. And if you still live there now, then you understand this small town and how everybody helps everybody. I remember one time we had such a bad blizzard that my dad put the snow plow on his tractor and went clear all the way to town, clearing people's driveways and the road all the way to town. Everybody helps everybody in a small town. But in a small town, everybody knows everybody's business. And if you're in maybe your work is kind of like a small town, or your church, or your family, everybody kind of knows everybody's business, then you know what I'm talking about. So I grew up with this small town mentality, and I really think that it shaped me. I love it. I love knowing everybody, and I love everybody knowing me. Well, add to that I have lived in the South for 30 some years, and so I understand Southern culture. My husband and I took a detour. So this writing's kind of a detour for me, this small town humor that I'm going to tell you about in just a minute. We took a detour. Oh, Susie's from Rock Springs, Texas. Yep, she's a good Texas woman, that Susie is. Oh, somebody grew up in Hondo. I know where Hondo is. One day, my husband and I went on this little road trip. We went to Fredericksburg and the Hill Country, and we ended up taking a detour accidentally, and we ended up in Lukenbach, Texas. I don't know if you've ever been to Lukenbach. Put that on there if you've been to Lukenbach. But there's not much in Lukenbach except this little kind of a general store kind of thing, and it sits down in the trees. But that day when we went to Lukenbach, there were hundreds and hundreds of Harleys, and they were parked there to hear Willie Nelson sing. And so it was a detour that turned out wonderful. Well, maybe you've had a detour in life that didn't turn out so well. And so that's what I want to talk to you tonight about, are the books that I've written about Leona Harper, a woman who took a detour in life. For a few years ago, this is the story. I'm not very good with this technical stuff. Hang on there. Oh, Stacy Scott's been to Lukenbach. Good for you, Stacy. A few years ago, I was commissioned to be the dramatic performer at a huge women's conference in Houston. And they said they wanted something really funny. And I said, well, about what? And they said, well, something in your life. I said, I'm a pastor's wife. My life's not funny. But I ended up writing this dramatic monologue that I have since traveled the country with and performed it in front of thousands. And women would laugh and they would cry. And when I came off the stage, they would say, can we buy the book? And I'd say, no. And finally one day a friend said, you should write the book. Well, here it is. It's finally in print. This story that I have told over and over and over again is in print. And I am so excited. Can you see that? Yeah, there you go. I am so excited to share it with you. The cool thing is, I know who owns these legs. They belong to my beautiful daughter-in-law, Lindsay, and the shoes as well. And the cool thing about this story is, because I got to set it in Mount Hope, I have since expanded it into a series, and the second book, Shoes to Fill, is already available. And soon, within the next few weeks, the third book, Dancing Shoes. That one's harder to do because I don't have the book on that yet. That's not at the editors, so that needs some work. Dancing Shoes will be available, and then there'll be a fourth book, Baby Shoes. So you can just kind of blow through the series. They're available in ebook and hardback. And I'm so excited to have this story for you. The early readers are calling this Mount Hope is like Mitford. They're calling it a place of hope and a place of healing and a place to reinvent yourself. So I set this story in a dying West Texas town, in a dying West Texas church. And in the process of this, Leona Harper lives in a parsonage. I lived in a parsonage for 8 years. That is a house owned by a church, and it's usually considered part of the pastor's salary. And I lived in a beautiful antebellum home in Georgia, but I patterned this parsonage off of some good friends of mine who live in West Texas, and they have this beautiful house. And if I can talk them into it someday, I'm going to take us on a virtual tour of that house and let you see it. I think that would be so fun to go see that, to see that house. And I've also set some of the scenes take place in the Coffee Cup Cafe, which is the local diner. And in Cherryville, we had a diner called the Dirty Spoon. That's what everybody called it. And if you are from Cherryville and you remember that diner, do not put that in the comments, the name of that diner. But we called it the Dirty Spoon. And so a lot of the things that happen in this diner are things that happened in the diner that I grew up in. And it's owned by Ruthie Crouch. And it is no accident that Crouch rhymes with Grouch. Mm-hmm. And you're going to meet some incredible characters, including Etta Mae and Nola Gay Story. They're two of my favorites. And then there's the county extension agent, Parker Kemp. Oh my goodness, he's to die for, handsome. And there's Bertie Worthington. And there's Maxine Davis, one of the elder sons. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, you're going to meet some of those wonderful people. The theme of this series is reinvention. And I have known throughout my life some women who have totally had to reinvent themselves. Their life was going one way, then all of a sudden it ended up, something tragic happened, cancer, divorce, death of a spouse, loss of a child, loss of a job, so many things that set them back. But I have seen these women be so resilient. And what I'd like to do for the next few weeks and months is introduce you to, Kim Gilson says she has a crush on Parker. And she wants to be Maxine. She is Maxine. Y'all need to meet Kim Gilson in person. What I would like to do the next few months is take you to meet some of these incredible Texas women who have reinvented themselves. And we're going to start the weekend of March 31st and April 1st. We're going to go on a road trip to Pottsville, Texas. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first, Pottsville, Texas. And you haven't lived until you've been to Pottsville. And when we get to Pottsville, I am going to be in the fashion show. That's right. Remember, I have the wave. I can walk the runway. I know how to do this. I am going to be in the Pottsville fashion show. Mm-hmm. And on the way, we are going to go through Hyco, Texas. And we are going to stop at the Coffee Cup Cafe, where I got the name for the diner. We are going to stop at the Coffee Cup Cafe, and we are going to have mile-high meringue pie, and if I can talk my husband into it, we're going to have fried chicken livers, the best ever. But while we're in the Pottsville area, I am going to introduce you to a spunky young thing who has reinvented herself. I can't wait for you to meet her, Melissa. And when you meet Melissa, you are going to want to come to her shop, and you're going to want to buy her stuff, and you're going to want to maybe reinvent yourself too. Maybe you're reinventing yourself right now and it's kind of hard, and you would like to have a small town come alongside you, then I'd like to hear from you. So you can private message me, and I'd like to interview you on my blog, or possibly come to see your town. Come to your town. Come to your town. And oh, Leslie says, hi, Texas, and six-man football. Nothing better. That is for sure, Leslie. Nothing better. Oh, my nephews played in a small town, and we went to his football game, and it was so fun. I loved it. It was so fun. Now let me just wrap up. Let me see. Okay, where was it? All right. This is the last thing I want to share with you. I have in the vault my stage performance of walking shoes. And for 5 lucky winners tonight, I am going to give you secret access to that stage performance. That's right. All you have to do is put in the comments, I bought walking shoes tonight. And that gives you one chance to win it. And then if you go ahead and buy shoes to fill at the same time, it's only $2.99 on the ebook. Yeah, and walking shoes is only $3.99. So if you go ahead and buy these 2 books tonight, put it in the comments that you bought these books tonight, then you'll be entered to win the stage performance of walking shoes. It'll be like have an audio book, because I play all the parts. I'm Etta Mae and Nola Gay. I'm Leona Harper. I'm Maxine Davis. I'm Howard Davis. I can't wait for you to get a chance to hear those. That's for a limited time only, and I probably won't draw those until, let's say, Sunday. I'll give you till Sunday so we can put some in the comments here. Remember, you say, I bought walking shoes, and for extra entry, I bought shoes to fill. And then for a 3rd entry, you can sign up for my newsletter, and that'll give you 3 chances to win the performance. I hope that you'll come away to Mount Hope and join me on this really fun time. Thank you so much for being here. I just love it. People are buying it. And thank you, Janet. Thank you, Janet, for helping me all the way in San Diego, California. Good night. Can't turn